So, hello, captains of armband. Welcome to another episode of Short Corners, where we interview footballers, managers, coaches, analysts, scouts, even directors and owners of various football clubs to bring the various aspects of the game closer to you. So, if you're a football fan just like us and love to learn from football personalities, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And today with us, we have Aakriti Vohra, LaLiga Global Network Delegate, India. And I won't lie, I'm very excited for today's podcast. So, Miss Vohra, how have you been?
Hi, Shobnik. It's a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for taking out time to speak with me.
So, it's my pleasure. And before start of the podcast, I will be a bit unofficial by saying when my friends just got to know that I was taking a podcast within La Liga Global Network Delegate, they were like, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to. And they will love to see, and they were like hyped, and so was I. So I won't lie, I am a bit hyped right now, and I have so many things to ask. So I won't waste a minute of yours, and I will start with all the talking points. So the first talking point will be: what are your responsibilities as the La Liga Global Network Delegate India?
So I'll give you a little bit of context. In 2017, I mean, nearly 5-6 years ago, under the president's leadership, Javier Tebas, the internationalization program, the Global Network program is basically an internationalization program. So La Liga is now reaching out to 90 countries with 11 offices, 44 delegates across the globe in different countries, and some 11, 12 delegates also sitting out of Madrid. So it's like a very strong network that we've created globally. As part of that program, I'm on the India team, and it's been an incredible journey because I've been part of the journey for some time now, and the agenda or the main responsibility for each delegate in each country, and also my responsibility in India, is to improve the landscape of the brand in the country. I mean, as you would understand, so it's more about creating a 360-degree approach to reach out to the Indian audience, to make La Liga more popular in the country. And we do various things to make sure that we reach our goal in terms of that. If you want, I can tell you what we exactly do, but yeah, that's my main role per se, to improve the brand presence of the league in the country.
And we will love to know what you do, because it will be a great to hear for all those who wants to work somewhere in the leagues, be it India or abroad. So we will love to hear.
So yeah, so I mean, so when I said it's a 360-degree approach, definitely there's a digital is the king these days. So we do a lot of stuff digitally. One of the bigger challenges when La Liga started the internationalization process was the language barrier. So we made sure that, the language barrier is taken care of. We do a lot of digital stuff. We've gone from, I still remember when we started off, we had 300,000 followers on social media. Today we have over 7 million. So it's been a jump of, say, around 2000% in the last 5-6 years. Apart from that, we do live screenings. We've done in 2016, 17, 18, we've touched around 50,000 fans. One of the bigger ones was in the JLN Stadium with nearly 15,000 people in Delhi. And we've gone to Bombay. And then there was another one in the NSIC, the Okhla grounds in Delhi again. And then we did one in Kolkata as well. So big live screenings of the El Clasico is something that we've done. We do small public viewings for the fans. We try and engage with fans. We have a pan-India La Liga football schools program that's very precious to us. And it's our way of sort of bringing the technical know-how of Spain to India, or the technical know-how of La Liga to India. And that's also a project that's close to us. Apart from that, of course, trying to create, strategic tie-ups with key stakeholders in the football industry and the sports industry at large. A few of the many things that we try and do every season in the country.
How has the perspective of your team about the Indian market changed over the years from the time it came to Indian market with the cables to now the digital era where it has boomed?
Yeah. So we've had a journey, when La Liga started, like when the office was set up in India back in the day, we were on Sony. From there, we went on to be on Facebook. We were free to air for a while where we tried that. And today we are on Sports 18 or the Viacom 18 network. We're on Sports 18, we're on MTV, Geo Cinema, and also Woot Select. Of course, digitalization has come into play for everyone. OTT platforms are key now, especially when you're reaching to the younger audience. For us as a journey, how has the perspective changed? If you ask me, from a learning perspective, I think we are better placed to understand the Indian market, how it's receptive to, say, an international league coming to India and trying to make its presence. So I think every season we learn, we have learnings that we internally discuss and make sure that we implement our learnings in the coming season. So that's pretty much it. So understanding of the market has of course gotten better. We've understood what the Indian consumer wants. We've understood what are our key pockets, football pockets, as you spoke about Kolkata. Like Kolkata, there are other key pockets as well that we know that has a lot of interest. And of course, the idea is to generate more and more fandom for the league in the coming years,
What were the initial challenges you faced while trying to capture the Indian market?
See, I mean, the challenge still remains, Shobnik, because, 85% of the market share is cricket. Like, everyone, all other sports, including the international leagues, plus the National League of Football in India, are running against that 15%, right? So, is it challenging? Yes, it is challenging. But things that we have tried to do to change things, what happens these days is all our key fixtures, all La Liga key fixtures. If I don't know if you've noticed, you spoke about watching games at 1:30 a.m. Now what is happening is that every, like, suppose, you have an away and a home for every key fixture. One fixture is, of course, Spanish prime time, which is suitable for the America markets. But the second fixture is usually Asia friendly. So just to speak about it in the coming days, Barcelona versus Atletico is on the 23rd or the 24th of April. It's 7:45 kickoff, and that's a great time to watch a game. So these are the little steps that the league, it's very difficult for the Spanish league to get the Spanish fans to be okay with such things. So small steps have been taken to make sure that the product becomes international. And it's they say it in Spanish, paso a paso, so step by step. We are learning with the market and improving and trying to pull in as much fandom. And of course, Sports 18 now is the destination of all things sports, and our partnership with them is very exciting for us, and we are hoping that it is going to be in the right direction to bring more of the sports fan base of the country to watch the league. So yeah.
In pandemic, we have saw lot of people having bad fortunes, but something that has changed in India over the years is that due to pandemic, a lot of people who were not interested in sports are right now very much interested in sports, and they watch football avidly throughout the year, whatever be the time, whatever be the circumstances. Even people even watch games from the office only. I won't encourage, but again, people do watch it. So I will just ask you, how have your marketing strategies evolved over the years, especially since the pandemic? How has the pandemic affected the viewership as well?
See, I think the pandemic was a global phenomenon. Unfortunately, it affected everyone equally, and La Liga was no different. We had to change our strategy, suddenly become more digital, innovate and activate digitally to make sure that we remain relevant. So those things came in. And for La Liga in general, as a journey, the first 3-4 years were about learning more about the market, understanding the market more to make our presence felt. We've now, over the years, we have two Indian partners. We have Dream 11 as our partner. We have Hero Wired, which is an edtech company, as our partner. We have an Indian company that's a global partner called BKT Tires, which is, extensively a sponsor on the Cricket League as well this year. We have Puma. So, there are, so we have existing partners in the country now. So we've gone from, say, understanding the country, strategizing in the country, to now, of course, looking at enhancing partners, activating with the existing partners, focusing on commercialization. Of course, we are not here for charity. We are here to improve our brand space. And definitely, we are looking to sort of knock the doors of Indian brands that have the same ethos or the same goals as we do, and then, create a mutually viable and mutually beneficial platform that in general contributes to football at large as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we are looking at as of now. And going further, I'm sure every year it changes, strategies change based on learnings, based on where the market actually is in terms of everything.
What role does data play in the operations of the organization?
I mean, data today is king, no? What's the popular saying? Data is king. I mean, everything is data specific, especially for La Liga to make the product international. Like, one of the key roles of my key role is to give data to my headquarters in Madrid. And one of the key things Madrid does for me, or my headquarters do for me, is they make sure that we are up to speed with all data. We have very strong internal tools that tell us about the markets that we are working in. We have very friendly colleagues. As I said, there are delegates all over the world. So we are all in touch constantly. We all, sort of exchange notes to understand what's happening. So data, of course, flows, and data is what, as I told you, we went from 300,000 digital followers to 7 million. These are data points that are relevant, and that's what is the, success measure of success for you. So definitely data is key, and has a very significant part for La Liga in its growth strategy. Not just in not just in India or the Indian subcontinent, but like globally as well.
How do you believe access to foreign leagues impacts the Indian football industry and Indian football fans?
See, I mean, the first thing that it has done, like even, in 2000, I think 2014 was the first year of the Indian Super League, when all these foreign players came into being, where the foreign clubs came into partnerships with Indian clubs. What does it do? It gives you exposure. It gives you the technical know-how, which is of world-class quality, to come in to help you, look at or understand where Indian football is, where the global levels are, and if we need to do something to get there, what can we do, strategize, and all of that. And I think it's been a journey. It's been nearly a decade. And I'm sure it's really been a good journey from that perspective. Also, opening doors obviously benefits India in the sense now everyone is looking at India as a very relevant or an important market. Even for La Liga, the Indian subcontinent is a very important market, and we are not the only ones who are looking at it like that. So I think the coming in of international leagues has definitely upped the game of Indian football, given it the perspective it needed, and also a roadmap to see where it needs to go in the coming years.
You have entered the gaming industry with your LaLiga challenge. How do you view the gaming industry as a whole, and how do you plan to utilize the market space as a part of your strategy?
That's a very interesting question. Last year we did a test in the market with the La Liga challenge with one of our sponsors. Um, and it was a very interesting, we got very good numbers. And this year, due to the test, India got into the global Beat the Best. It's called Beat the Best, the La Liga Global E-Gaming tournament. And we were one of the 9 countries that took part, and the numbers were great. How India, I think, let me talk about the Indian ecosystem when it comes to gaming, right? The pandemic really played a part in casual gaming becoming huge. I think the market saw exponential growth. And today, I think we're sitting on, say, casual gaming or e-gaming has, say, 450 to 500 million users. And the mobile, the penetration of the smart phone has absolutely changed the game. So, esports is still on a journey, and of course, the numbers are low. But for La Liga specifically, I don't know if you know this, but from the next season, La Liga EA Sports is going to be La Liga's title sponsor. The India subcontinent has had a merger with the MENA region. And the MENA region has had a joint venture with this company called Galaxy Racers, which is like the biggest esports gaming and lifestyle company across. So with all this coming together, I think the focus will definitely be on how we can get these 450 million users to become esports users. And with all these forces coming together, I'm very excited about what the next few seasons are going to be in terms of, say, the gaming scenario, and how we are going to tap the big giant, which is India, in terms of the numbers, the sheer numbers of the gaming industry, you know.
What are the unique traits of the Indian customers in general?
See, India is it's a complicated country. It's a diverse country. You know, we call it a country. We are a continent in a manner of saying. Every state has its own way of functionality. There's so much diversity. So to say or make a generic statement about the Indian consumer is difficult. What I can say though is that like the reason why we have an office in India, or why La Liga has actually placed actual people in India, is because it's very difficult to say sit in Spain and understand a complex country like India. So it's very important that there are people on ground that are understanding the consumer on a daily basis and applying strategies based on that. So the consumer is what we like, fan engagement, consumption of our league on a broadcast level, and all of these things are the most important things. That's the key. That's why we are here. And it's a journey. I can't say that we've completely understood the Indian market. It's a journey, and every day is a learning. And the Indian consumer is a demanding consumer, an aware consumer today. They know what they want, and it is in our interest to ensure that we try and give them what they're looking for from the league.
You have to cater to the different zones or different audience, because as you said, India is a very diverse country. North India, South India, East India, and West India, totally different within cultures. Even states are different. So do you have to plan your strategies in terms with in respect to the regions and the cultures as well? Or because you can't have a generic plan for all over the country, so you have to reach out to different zones and try to market the league differently bit to the other parts as well?
See, no, the strategy for the country is more or less specific. But yes, there are football pockets that become more relevant, or where we know that anything we do will create a better result. right? So that identification has been done, and those are the markets that right now we are in the phase of activating. And eventually, of course, the idea is that all of India has La Liga written on their hearts, and every consumer is just as welcoming to the league as, say, maybe today are some of the football pockets in the country.
What is your advice for the aspiring sports marketeers?
What I would say, see, when I started off with the Commonwealth Games in 2010. There was barely an industry then. I mean, it was all about cricket. IPL was 2 years old. So there was this whole new system of, getting a contractual job with IPL. But apart from cricket, we didn't see anything as such. Today, nearly every sport has a league. The industry is in that, it's at the brink of professionalizing. It's anyway booming right now, and in the next 2-3 decades, you're going to see an exponential boom in the industry. So it's a great time if you are a sports lover, if you are passionate about sports. It's a great time to enter the industry because sky is the limit, and it's growing every day, every second as we speak. The sports industry is growing, and for the better, I think.
Captains, that was all for today. We need to end our session here. Thanks, Ms. Vohra, for being with us today. To all of our viewers, thanks a lot for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more such podcasts like this. And until next time, it's goodbye from Armband.